Rest in peace to the late Jerry Springer, who gave us years of wild and crazy and outrageous TV, comedy, fights, drama, scandal, and a platform for where couples would out themselves and all the dirty deeds that they got down with. This is the scandalous life, outrageous life of the late Jerry Springer. Let's get into this, y'all. Gerald Norman Springer was born on February 13th, 1944, in a London subway station that was used as a shelter during the bombing raids. He was the son of a bank clerk and a shoe shop operator. Yes, a shoe shop operator, meaning an owner of a shoe store. Two Jewish refugees who had fled Germany. All of our family was exterminated by the Nazis, but my mother and father survived, he said. The train stations were used by people as shelter, and that was where I was born. Springer's family moved to New York when he was 4 years old, and he remained there until taking his degree in political science at a university, Tulane University. After attending Northwestern Law School, he worked on Robert F. Kennedy presidential campaign, y'all. Before taking a job with the Cincinnati law firm Frost and Jacobs. He was 100% a liberal because he said, look, if you are a child of Holocaust survivors, it's hard not to be a liberal. 27 members of my family were wiped out, y'all. You learn that you never judge people on what they are, but what they do. At the age of just 26, he became the Democratic Party candidate for a Cincinnati congressional seat, running against Donald Clancy, a four-term incumbent. Springer, who was also an Army reservist, lost but managed to get 45% of the votes. He was elected to the city council in 1971 and was, by all counts, effective and very popular. Wearing bell bottom blue jeans, he spent a day working with a garbage collection crew, hauling cans from the curb and dumping the trash in the back of the truck. When the city took over the local bus service, he hijacked a bus during the Fountain Square ceremonies and drove it around the block. He spent the night locked up with prisoners at an old jail, a dungeon known as the workhouse, saying he wanted to hear their problems and bring attention to their plight. This was the type of man Jerry Springer was. I'm telling you, y'all, we need more men like Jerry handling these political situations that we are burdened with now. If a younger Jerry Springer, if he was 26 right now, can you imagine what kind of changes he could have, generated and created? Mm, I tell you, after being reelected, he was in line to become mayor. Democrats and Republicans had agreed to rotate the position, which would have made him the country's youngest big city mayor. Then came the, oh Lord, ladies of the night scandal. I want to say prosto, okay, triggered when the police raided a massage parlor and found a bad check pinned to the wall with for service rendered written on it. Yes, this is the type of stuff that Jerry is just known for. He's out there. The 30-year-old issued a statement. It is with deep personal regret that I am announcing today my resignation from City Council. I wouldn't have resigned. I wouldn't have resigned. Understand what I'm giving up? An enormous opportunity to share in the leadership of this great city. However, very personal family considerations, you know, is causing this action. My family must and does come before my own personal career. Thank you all for all you have given me. I hope I have offered something positive in return. A day after he quit, Springer had to testify at the trial of two men accused of operating a Kentucky health club in which the evidence included one check for $25 and another for 50 that he had given for sexual services. Springer's then wife Mickey said she didn't want him to resign, even though she had fled his news conference in tears. I'm agreeing with Mickey, okay? I don't think he should have resigned because he was doing a lot of good for the community. So I think he should have kept his job over some, what, a funky $75? When you got people out here right now spending 130 something $1,000 for hush money, we talking about $75? Child, please. So they remained together until 1994. While what Jerry did was wrong, this is Mickey saying it now. It's nothing to throw your life away for, she said. I know what Jerry needs to stay alive. I just love him, and I can't bear to see him broken like this. Remarkably, Springer made a comeback when he was reelected to the council and subsequently named mayor in 1977, largely because he had apologized and addressed the matter front and center in his advertising. When I think of being flat on my back 3 years ago, having this happen is almost unbelievable, Springer said with no evident attempt at irony. This is the best feeling I've ever had in my political life. In 1982, he ran unsuccessfully to become governor of Ohio and then left politics for journalism. During his student years, he had contributed to a local radio station and had continued to do so as a commentator for Cincinnati WEBN FM, joining local NBC affiliate WLWT TV. As a reporter and commentator, he soon rose to become anchor and for 4 to 5 years was the most popular newsman in the city, y'all. Famous for his nightly commentaries that paved the way for his talk show. Child. The Jerry Springer Show debuted in syndication in September of 1991 and took aim at the Phil Donahue Show. Donahue was a liberal icon, a longtime talk show host whose manner and tolerant style eventually ceded its place to reality TV and this sensationalist rivals. In 1994, according to struggling in the ratings. It looks like there was some struggling in the ratings. Springer and his producer took a leap in the dark. They decided to remake the whole show, revamp everything, turning away from the liberal themes as guns and homelessness and towards something altogether more tabloid and scandalous. Almost overnight, Springer's program surged ahead, and by 1998, it was beating even the Oprah Winfrey Show. Its set was revamped to make it softer, brighter. The host's entrance was changed. He now slid down a stripper pole, and the theme of each installment was titled Towards the Lowest Common Denominator, with titles such as Stripper Wars and I Want My Man to Stop Watching Corn. Some episodes defied belief, like the one in which a guest claimed to have chopped off his wang wang so a male stalker would not be able to touch him. Even that paled beside one who Springer called the most bizarre story we've done about a transsexual who cut off her legs with a power saw. Compared to these eyebrow raisers, other highlights, lowlights seemed tamed. There was one show with a man who bragged that he had slept with his stripper sister, and another with a fellow who said he wanted to marry his horse. For dabbling in such subjects, Springer was extraordinarily well paid. In 2000, a contract renewal gave him $6 million per year. But for that money, he had to endure not just problems, but also serious scandal. Oh, yeah. In the same year his contract was extended, a 52-year-old woman who had just appeared on the show was found unalive and beaten. The victim, Nancy Campbell, had been on an episode titled Secret Mistresses Confronted, in which her ex husband and his wife accused her of stalking them. The husband was subsequently convicted of her life being taken. Swinger refused to share responsibility for the incident and told CNN that it had nothing to do with the show. But that marked a turning point for the host. Afterwards, concerned groups such as Parent Television Council increasingly challenged what he was doing and urged advertisers not to sponsor the production, which damaged him hugely when he considered a return to politics. Could you imagine if he did run? Oh, child. He weighed running for senator in 2000 and 2004, but chose not to go ahead in the face of too much hostility. That's so disappointing. Springer ventured into other territories as a producer, host, and even an actor. He presided over America's Got Talent for 2 seasons, did Springer on the radio for almost 2 years, and hosted the Miss World and Miss Universe pageants on a few occasions as well. He also made a cameo appearance on series from Roseanne to The X Files, competed on Dancing with the Stars, and even covered the U.S. presidential election for a British morning show in 2016. Perhaps most impressively, he had a stage production based on his life. Richard Thomas and Stuart Lee's Jerry Springer, the Opera, which ran in England for 609 performances and won British version of a Tony and an Oliver Award as Best Musical, which did not prevent 55,000 people from lodging complaints when it was broadcast on British television. Child, child, child. None of this came close to overshadowing the Jerry Springer Show, which continued until it ran out of steam after 27 seasons when he segued to a new program, the syndicated Judge Jerry, in 2019. Survivors include his wife and daughter, son in law, grandson, and sister. Springer's various ventures might have cost him his dreams, but they made him a fortune for which Springer remained unapologetic. After everything his family had gone through, survival ultimately was more important than the ethics of a mere TV show. And yet he defended even the morality of what he was doing in 2008, which he addressed at a Northwestern law school. It is perhaps inevitable that we are inclined to always judge others. That is so true, said Springer, who is survived by his daughter, Katie Springer, a child born legally blind and deaf in 1 year. Oh, jeez. But let me share this observation. I am not superior to people on my show, and you are not superior to the people you will represent. Unavoidably, you will all join me on this witness stand of conscience, trying your best to figure it out. Never perfectly, but hopefully always sincerely. Jerry Springer, may he rest in peace. Gerald Norman Springer, born February 13th, 1944, has passed away. Leave a comment, a like, and if you feel, even subscribe to this channel. On that note, it's your pop culture goddess, and I am out. Goodbye, Jerry.